So when you played the Chicago Bulls, Norm Van Leer and Jerry Sloan would beat you up. Okay, they were very tough. They didn't take no prisoners.
Oh, that would have been
We was
huge.
gonna have Daryl Dawkins in the Chicago Bulls.
Ah, that would have been huge. Was he Chocolate Thunder? Was
Yeah,
that?
that's Chocolate Thunder. Yes,
Okay.
that's him. That's
Man,
him. When I lived in Chicago before I moved, it was Michael Jordan, 23 jerseys.
Yeah.
And when I went back after Michael retired, all you saw was number one, Rose. I was like, oh my God, this guy has taken the city. I didn't see any 23 jerseys. Now, I was such a Bulls fan, I could see it now, but I took off work that day to watch the draft. Okay. when they drafted Scott Pippen and Horace Grant, I saw it live.
Wow.
Yeah, and we started doing that way. Me and one of my partners, James Perriman, man, we'll take day off and go home and watch the draft and see what the Bulls was doing, man.
This is former Chicago Bear Desmond Clark. And y'all hear me on many podcasts, but when y'all hear me on Pick'em Pros, y'all know it's all about family. This ain't just business.
Everything's going my way.
We're coming back tonight. We're going to tie it up 2-2, go back to Golden State, then 3-2, and then we're going to control the series.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. You know who it is. I am Derek Thompson.
And I'm Diego Thompson.
And who are we?
We're the Pick'em Pros.
We're the Pick'em Pros. Back at you in the house on a special July 14th date. July 14th, this is a very, very special day for all of you out there because it is the birthday of somebody that is magnificent, somebody that is amazing. Man, whose birthday is it today?
I'm just kidding.
It was my birthday. So it's my birthday today. But not only is it my birthday, it is also the birthday of our special guest that we have today, the man of the hour, Mr. Professor Lou Thompson, who is going to give us his top 10 Chicago Bulls of all time. It is also his birthday. And this man, if you notice the Thompson name, yes, he is your grandfather, Pawpaw. He is my dad. So that also makes this even more special. So part of what we'll do here with Pick'em Pros is every now and then, again, this is an engagement show with fans. And we, not only want to have people call in. No, that's not good enough. We actually want to have fans be on the show so we can get your perspective, so we can learn something about you, because it's not just all the famous people that you see on television. They're not the only people that have knowledge about sports. We want to hear from everybody. We want to hear from all the fans out there. So we're reaching out to super fans to hear about their top list and just to learn. So Mr. Lou Thompson is a professor at the University of Texas at Dallas. Has been teaching there for several years. Lifelong Chicago Bulls fans from Chicago. He's known the Bulls his whole life. The Bulls were founded when I believe he was 11. So he's known the Bulls his entire life. So there's nobody better than this man to give us his top 10 list. I also had the privilege of growing up and going to Chicago Bulls games with him, seeing Michael Jordan in the old stadium and all that good stuff. So, man, you ready? We're ready to bring him in?
I'm ready. Let's bring him in.
All right, ready to learn more about the Chicago Bulls?
I'm ready.
One of the greatest franchises of all time. So
I don't know. Warriors are better.
I don't know about that. We can talk about that. Well, let's see. Well, let's go ahead and bring him in. Mr. Professor Thompson, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Happy birthday.
All right. Thank you very much. Happy birthday to you as well.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. So the day of recording, July 14th. So this will probably come out a few days later. But thank you for joining us. Thanks for taking the time out of your busy schedule and joining us and kind of giving us your top list of Chicago Bulls and just also kind of educating and schooling us a little bit about the Bulls. I know they're a team that people love. They know about Michael Jordan, but they may not know as much about some of the history of the Bulls. So I'm excited to hear about some of these guys. I know some of these guys will be people that I may have never heard about. So it's going to be a lot of fun. But I believe you had a question for your grandfather. Do you want to?
Oh yeah, I do have a question. So I know you've been a Bulls fan, as long as they existed, and it's been a lot of key moments and great moments and throughout the Bulls history. So I just wanted to know, what was your favorite moment of the Bulls?
Okay, well, I've had quite a few famous moments there with the Bulls, knowing them ever since I was in 6th grade, as Derek was telling you. But I remember when the Bulls and the Detroit Pistons were having a battle, and I was leaving the game, and your grandmother was with me, and I walked out, and the bus for the Detroit Pistons was right there at the curb, and I was in awe. And I was watching the players get up there, and Vinnie Johnson was very, very upset because the bus was on its way, but he was fussing. And I got a chance to stand up with him because I know he could dunk. And, I stood up to him and I asked my wife, I said, am I taller than Vinnie Johnson? She said, yes, you are taller than Vinnie Johnson. So it really made my day to say, man, I'm taller than Vinnie Johnson. He'd be slamming it down on the basketball court. So, so that was one of my greatest moments. And I got one more if you let me get two.
Absolutely.
They're a tie. But one time, Derek and I, when he was little, we was leaving because we used to hang out around gate 1.5. Now, gate 1.5 is where everybody would hang out when the Bulls and the visiting team would be leaving. And at that time, Bill Cartwright was going by, and I said, hi, Bill, this is my son. I want to introduce you to him. His name is Derek. And he shook Derek's hand. And, Derek and I laughed about it all the way home because it was a school night. So I had stuck him out the house. It was on Tuesday night. So he had to go to school the next day. But years later, I was at a game in Sacramento, and I got a chance to be behind the scenes, and I ran into Bill Cartwright. And I said, hey, Bill, how you doing? I said, I met you a long time ago. I had my son. And he shook his hand, and he said he remembered that. I don't know if that's true or not. He was trying to make me feel good, but he did make me feel good.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Again, I have so many memories, growing up since seeing the Bulls. And now the gate, you mentioned the gate. Was it gate 3.5?
Or gate 1.5?
I was 1.5. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Gate 1.5.
All right, man. Yeah. We saw a lot. I remember seeing Jordan come out, and he would be in a vet in different cars. I remember coming out, and everybody would surround the car and be shaking the car and everything, and rocking.
Yeah.
And as soon as he could move away to where they couldn't touch the car, he would peel off.
Oh yeah, he burn rubber.
Yeah, it'd be burning rubber. Yeah. I remember getting Craig Hodges' autograph.
Oh yeah.
So you took me his autograph, and then Michael Thompson, Thompson.
Michael Thompson. Yeah, you met him too.
Yeah,
yes,
met him.
He was playing for San Antonio Spurs.
That's right. Yeah. So a lot of great memories. So I definitely appreciate that, and trying to pass that on to Diego and do this here. But I know we are here today to hear your top 10. I know everybody's waiting to hear about this. So we'd love to just give you the floor and have you give us your top 10 list.
Oh wow. Well, it was very difficult to come up with 10 players. If you look at it, I probably had a list of about 20 or so players that you could look at, like Ron Harper, Elton Brand. They played a while. Bill Cartwright, B.J. Armstrong. We had Clifford Ray, who was a great center, and the Bulls traded him for Nate Thurman. So we made a trade with the San Francisco Warriors, which became the Golden State Warriors. And when they made that trade that same year, the San Francisco Warriors actually won their first championship that year. That was back in 1975, and I happened to be in San Francisco at the time when that got announced when they won the championship. The Bulls got beat in the playoffs. We were looking to go, but if my memory serves me right, we didn't get past the Portland Trail Blazers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So they got a lot of good players that was there. Tony Kukoc, Tom Borwinkle, Horace Grant. We had some older guys like Mickey Johnson. He was from Aurora College, which is now Aurora University. He played a few years, averaged about 15, 16 points a game. We had David Greenwood, came out of UCLA. And, he was there. But, they had to do some cleaning house. Okay, we had the great Orlando Woolridge.
Yes. Oh, man.
But, the Bulls, kind of had not the greatest image for a little while. So they had to do a little house cleaning. So Woodridge and eventually Quentin Daly and some of them, they all had to go bye-bye and go to other teams.
Uh-huh.
So I'm getting to where we're going to be. So I started looking at it. It's like, man, 10. Well, you're going to have some that was on championships.
Right.
Okay, they won championship. The Bulls did win 6 championships. Then you got some that just was there, old school Bulls. Because like you say, I was in 6th grade, at that particular time. So that's really was 1966. Okay. Mm-hmm. We didn't even have color TV. All right, it was 3 years before we got color TV. So we were watching the Bulls in black and white. Okay. Wow. We didn't even know their jerseys was red.
Yeah.
So it took a while, but coming down my list. So we had Orlando, we had Bill Cartwright, and I really wanted him to make my 10, some down a little bit out there. Then we had great Reggie Theus, and he was the face of the franchise.
That's right.
He was it.
That's
for
right.
5 or 6 years. He was all-star player, made all-stars and all that and good things and leading scorer for the Bulls. But he didn't make my list. And so now I'm going to start off with Noah. Joakim Noah is going to be my number 10. All right. 10. He was a fan favorite. He was with the Bulls when they were almost close to getting another championship after the Jordan era, but he was a fan favorite. All right. He was a favorite of Charles Barkley as well. At one time, Charles Barkley said that was his favorite NBA player. He played 8 years for the Bulls too. So part of my decision making is, how long did they play and all that. So he was a very good player and made good contributions, good rebound, played good defense. So he beat out my Reggie Theus for number 10. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So he's there. After that, then I have to start going down my list. Then I have my Dennis Rodman, and he came over from the Pistons, and he was very instrumental. He's a Hall of Famer and been on All-Stars and all NBA teams and defensive player of the year. And I don't think that the Bulls would have had a much harder journey winning the last 3 championships, because when Michael came back, we didn't make it. Okay. So, and we had to go get him from San Antonio. So he makes the list, but he was there 3 years.
Okay.
So that was my number 9. Coming up at number 8, I have to go to an old timer, and this is old school Bulls.
Right.
And you used to see him because he'd been down there about gate 1.5, and his name is Stormin' Norman.
Oh yeah.
His name is the great Norm Van Leer.
Okay.
And he is career numbers is 11.8 points per game, 4.8 rebounds that he has. He's a 3-time NBA All-Star, 3-time All-Defensive Team, and 2-time All-NBA Second Team. All right.
Mm.
So he comes in at number 8. All
Okay.
right. Okay, so if you look at it, we kind of got some new bulls. Okay, you know, Rodman was in the 90s. Noah came in late 90s or maybe, you know, late 90s. So now we got an old school. Now we got another old school. We got Chet the Jet Walker.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, he was an all-star. They called him Chet the Jet Walker. He averaged 18.2 points a game. He's an NBA champion. Okay, I believe he may have got his champion. He got a championship from another team. It wasn't, of course, with the Bulls, and he was a 7-time All-Star. Okay, and so you know, Chet the Jet goes back in my real early days.
Yeah,
Of the Bulls. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Now, moving to number 6, we have to go with Artis Gilmore. Artis Gilmore, 7 foot. Okay, block shots, get rebounds, and you know, Artis Gilmore, man, he has quite a bit of history with him, man. You know, he was from the old ABA because the ABA, the American Basketball Association, joined the NBA. So he was an all-star, 5-time ABA all-star, and a 6-time NBA All-Star. Okay, and that was his numbers that he put up, and I really liked him. Okay, and he was our center, and then the Bulls messed up and traded him for Dave Corzine with the San Antonio Spurs. Okay, and so he really wasn't around as the center when we had Michael, and that's how Dave Corzine trade came in, and we had Dave Corzine for a while. Okay. Yeah. So that's a little history there. The fans couldn't stand Dave Corzine. We were all crying when we lost Artis Gilmore, and we thought we were going to get another player. Played for this particular center. He's deceased now, but he played for the Philadelphia 76ers. He used to names his dunks and all that stuff. He was very flamboyant.
Oh, Dawkins.
Yeah, Double D. I'm
sorry,
okay. I worked today, so I might have had a little brain explosion.
Yeah.
Dawkins. Yeah. And he got hurt. The trade was coming.
They call him Chocolate Thunder?
He was gonna come to the Bull, and he was playing in a game on a Sunday, and he got injured, and that kept the trade from coming.
Oh, that would have been.
We was gonna have Daryl Dawkins in the Chicago Bulls.
That would have been huge. Was he Chocolate Thunder?
That's Chocolate Thunder. Yes,
okay,
that's him. That's
him. Yeah. Well, was he one of the? That could be debatable. He was one of the first ones to shatter the backboard.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, and one of the first ones to come out of high school too.
Yeah.
Okay. Him and Moses. Yeah, they the ones started the students coming out of high school, basketball players into that. They were the leaders. Okay. The first ones. Yeah.
And is he the reason why they created the breakaway rims? Or had the breakaway rims?
Yes, sir.
In there.
That's right. Yeah.
Wow.
That's exactly why. You're right.
Yeah, because that gives it a little give. So you're used to that, but that gives it a little give. Because so when it didn't bend like that, it was easier for them to shatter the backboard.
Okay.
Yeah. Man. Okay. All right.
Okay. So now, oh boy, now we're gonna come in a younger generation, and I got this person here. He didn't get a chance to play a long time, but he was phenomenal. Okay. His name is Derrick Rose.
Oh, yeah, man.
And when I lived in Chicago, before I moved, it was Michael Jordan, 23 jerseys.
Yeah.
And when I went back after Michael retired, all you saw was number one, Rose. Rose. I was like, oh my God, this guy has taken the city. I didn't see any 23 jerseys. It was all Derrick Rose.
Yeah.
And, I had to give it to him because he's from Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And, he played for Simeon basketball school, which is phenomenal. Okay. For playing basketball, they have quite a history. He wore number 25.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And he played and, he made some all-star games, but he got hurt. But my other quote unquote halo I had to give to him, he was a MVP. He won the MVP.
Yes.
Okay. So I have to put him there.
Yes. And youngest ever, right?
I'm sorry.
Wasn't he the youngest MVP ever?
Yeah, he got his MVP pretty quick. Like his, I doubt it was his rookie year, but it was pretty early in his career. Second to third year, somewhere between second and third year, he got that. And that was when the Bulls was coming back.
Right.
Okay, so we got Noah. I had Noah at number 10. But we had Noah, and we had a few other players that we're not talking about today that was on there, and they was about to come back and play.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, for 2 years in a row, he got hurt just like Thompson. But he's now back in the league. Okay?
Right.
But he could do it. He could shoot. He could dunk. He was it. He played defense as well. All right.
Yeah.
Heck of a player.
Yeah.
And very fast as well.
Yeah, you seen D-Rose.
Derrick Rose.
Yeah.
Call him D-Rose.
Yeah.
Now,
yes.
we're going to go old school now. Oh, man, this is very interesting. My number 4 wore number 4. I didn't know that. I just happened to notice that when I'm looking at my list now.
Okay.
And his jersey is retired. And he played guard along with Norm Van Leeuwen.
Okay.
Okay, now his name is Jerry Sloan.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
He was the coach of the Utah Jazz. And he was an all-star as well, and 2-time all-star. And he also made all defensive teams. So when you played the Chicago Bulls, Norm Van Leeuwen and Jerry Sloan would beat you up. Okay, they were very tough. They didn't take no prisoners. Yeah, they were very known to be rough at you.
Okay. All right.
Now, going on down there, I'm gonna get to number 3. And number 3, I'm gonna go with Bob Butterbean Love.
Ooh.
Bob Love.
Bob, yeah. I've never saw
All
him.
right. And Bob Love was an all-star, and he was number 10. He averaged 17.6 points per game in his tenure, 3-time all-star, 2-time all-NBA team, and 3-time all-defensive, but he could shoot and he could play. And he was the face of the franchise as a while when he was there. Yeah. And I did get a chance to meet him one time and got to meet him and shook his hand and talk to him because at one time when we were living on the south side, we had moved from the west side to the south side, and we were living in an apartment. The landlord of the building knew Bob Love. Okay, and he had been over to our building a few times to a few parties that they was having, but they knew him and they grew up together, went to college together. So that's Bob Love.
Okay.
Oh boy. Yeah. So now I'm down to only 2 more. Is that right?
Yeah. Only 2 more.
Man, let the drum roll. Let the drum roll. All right. For number 2, I'm going to have to go with Scottie Pippen. Got to go with Scottie Pippen, man. We had to have our Batman and we had to have our Robin, but he was definitely Rodman, and one of the best defensive players that ever played. 7-time All-Star, 3-time All-NBA, 8-time All Defensive Team.
Mhm.
He made the 50 greatest, and he part of the 75 greatest as well, and got a good book out on the market, and he's got a son. Look like he's gonna make the Lakers.
Yeah, yes.
It's not his fault.
Right. Right.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Yeah, Scotty.
Okay.
Like,
So, without further ado, I don't know who I'm gonna pick for number one. But I think I might have to go as far as my goal, and that has to be Michael Jeffrey Jordan.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I used to live in Chicago, and I love Chicago, and I had a golden opportunity to move to North Carolina.
Mhm.
And one of the reasons why I moved there is because Michael Jordan was from North Carolina.
Mm.
And so that was one of part of the reasons of my decision.
All right.
And
That's
moved
what
back
we
in
are
my
right now.
family and moving them to North Carolina.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah.
But Michael Jordan, I saw him when he got drafted. Okay. I watched him in college and hit the big shots and come into the Bulls, and all the greatest shots he made and blocks, and you can go on and on and on. We could talk for 2 days just on all the things that Michael did. I know one time, this is kind of funny. Derek's gonna laugh here. I got off of work and I said, "Man, get your clothes on, man. We're gonna go see Michael Jordan." Really? I said, "Yeah, man. He at the car dealer up on North Avenue, man. Come on, let's go and get in the car, man. Let's roll."
Yeah.
So we got in the car. We went up there to the car dealership. The line was long. And we was in line for about over an hour and a half. And we finally got right up to Michael and said, "That's it. It's all over." So I hollered, "Michael," but I wasn't going to be denied. I pulled out my camera. I took a picture of the back of his head while he was running, making it to the car. When he got into the car, he was in a limousine. You couldn't even see in. Me and Derek was at the car waving at him and taking pictures. But that is my goal and my number one.
Yeah.
And that is my history and my legacy with the Chicago Bulls.
Yeah. Well, no, that's magnificent. Definitely learned a lot with this list. And before we let you go, it's just kind of impromptu here, but we watched The Last Dance. We've seen it twice. The whole thing here. So Diego's kind of getting up to speed on the Bulls and Chicago sports and just the mania around that. But it wasn't always like that. Obviously, before Michael Jordan came, I know the stadium was empty. Can you just talk about how it was those few years before Michael Jordan came, and then just as he showed up? I don't know how long it took. Did it take a week? Was it a game? Was it a month before people realized, oh man, this is a game changer? And then pretty soon the stadium became full. Can you just tell us about that process?
Yeah, well, before Michael, we had our Bulls fans, and I had my friends that we would go to Bulls games, and we would probably go to about 3 or 4 games, during the year. And at that time, it was before Michael. We more or less. I'm looking at the time that I'm now an adult and I can go to the games on by myself, okay, or with my friends, and we watching the David Greenwoods, the Sidney Greens. There was all these type of players that were playing with the Bulls, and it was an atmosphere, and it was fun because you just like Chicago, but they didn't get very far into the playoffs. You know, if they got into the second round, then that would really be a good phenomenal season, because we had the Milwaukee Bucks, and we was in the Central Division, and the Bucks had some good players on their teams. Okay, and so we really couldn't do anything at that time until when we got Michael. And when we first got Michael, we really didn't know. It was excitement. Yeah, you came out of college and stuff. And so, we had a pretty good year with that. And then when they went into the playoff, and what really took the storm is when he scored them 63 points his second year after he got hurt against the Boston Celtics. And at that time, that's when we knew we had something special. And at that time, the Bulls started cleaning house, moving players around, and we had to go get some enforcers. Also had someone else that was very phenomenal, Rod Higgins. Rod Higgins was from Chicago, but he took Michael up under his wings, and he taught Michael how to shoot pool. Michael didn't know how to shoot pool, but Michael was a great pool shooter because it's very competitive.
Yeah.
All right, and so Rod was there a long time, and when they traded Ron, Michael broke down because that was his, partner, and he was just maybe a year or two ahead of him in the, in the NBA, and we started getting, B.J. Armstrong, and then we kept adding pieces to the puzzle so that we can, get higher into the playoffs, and then we ran into the Detroit Pistons, and they would just beat us up. And so at that time, we said, man, we need another enforcer. So at that time, we had to make a trade. We had Oakley, but we had to trade Oakley. And so we had to trade Oakley to the player I introduced you to, which is Bill Cartwright, because he had them elbows, and he was a taller presence in the center. And once we got Bill Cartwright, and I wanted to get him in my top 10, but I couldn't get him in there. I wanted to have two centers. I had to put Gilmore in there, but when we got him, that's when we started getting those championship. And we had to get Scottie Pippen, and we got Scottie, and we got Horace Grant at the same time. Now, I was such a Bulls fan, I could see it now, but I took off work that day to watch the draft. Okay, when they drafted Scottie Pippen and Horace Grant, I saw it live.
Wow.
Yeah, and we started doing that way. Me and one of my partners, James Perriman, man, we'll take day off and go home and watch the draft and see what the Bulls was doing, man. We was all the way, all the way fan. We wanted to see, man. We didn't want to hear about it on the news. There wasn't no internet and all that stuff, man. You had to be in the house watching TV, or you had to see it on 10 o'clock news. Other than that, so that's how that was.
Wow, that's fantastic. Well, hey, man, we learned some more about the Bulls history. The best franchise and basketball history, and probably the best team. I know you're a Warriors guy, but we know who would win if the those old Bulls played the Warriors.
Man. I don't know, man.
You don't know?
I don't know, man. I don't know, man.
You don't know?
I'm not saying who would win. I'm just saying I don't know.
Just saying you don't. Okay.
I'm just saying I don't know.
All right. Just saying you don't know. All right. Ooh. Well, hey, that's our time for today.
Okay.
Again, thank you for joining us, giving us your top list. Hey, comment. Those that are watching, let us know what you think. Hey, if you want to come on and you have some knowledge about your franchise, let us know. We love to talk to you. So it's educational for us all. But hey, enjoy sports. Enjoy everything that's going on right now. And until then, we'll see you next time. Everybody, pick 'em pros. We are all out.
Pros.
Tavares Jordan.